Welcome to Designing Accessible Workspaces GUI Edition. How simple, free modifications to GUI design can create more accessible spaces. So creating accessible interfaces is all about options. Differences in ability don't come in one-size-fits-all boxes. Many available accessibility tools work for abled people as well as differently abled people. And conversely, what works for some people will not work for others. The biggest hurdle for accessibility in the workplace is knowledge. Having great accessibility options does nothing for you if people don't know about it. If they don't know you have it, they can't use it. Having the hardware does nothing if your staff doesn't know how to help people use it. One of the best ways to promote accessibility is through training staff on pre-existing accessibility options and OS-specific tools included stock in your OS already. Addressing dyslexia, freeware versus premium solutions. So we're going to briefly look at a couple of options that are available for accessibility tools regarding dyslexia. When dealing with public libraries, with academic libraries, with archives, dyslexia is a huge problem when dealing with interface design. First of all, we have dyslexiefont.com, also known as Dyslexie. Dyslexie costs $149 to $10,000 for a lifetime license up to 5,000 employees. Past 5,000 employees, you must request a quote. It's priced for the number of employees in the entire company, not just the ones using it. So if you have 5 people that actually input data into your system, but you have 200 workers, you have to pay the rate for 200 workers. Using Dyslexie as a pre-made Chrome extension requires a monthly subscription per user. And there is also a Dyslexie Office package that requires bundled cloud storage per account. And that increases by the amount of gigabytes that you need per account. Open Dyslexic, on the other hand, is free for any usage whatsoever. You can just go and download it. Scripts and CSS are available free through GitHub, so you can just implement those into your website design. You would have your webmaster, if you should have one, do that, or your IT people. Basically, you have the ability to have the same functionality as Dyslexie, but it requires a longer setup time and more maintenance. The easy one, be mindful of color schemes. Text and interactive elements should have contrast ratio of 4 to 5 to 1. Color should not be the only indicator for interactive elements, and avoid common color blindness combinations. In this slide, I have placed an image of a green square on top of a red square in a giant no symbol for a reason. This is the most common color blindness combination. Please avoid it in your web design and double check web designers. http webaccessibility.carnegiemuseums.org/design/color has a great resource guide for choosing palettes based off of background color and provides the hexadecimal for each color combination. Color markers. Use descriptive terms to help aid those with different color vision discern between shades and colors. Texture and patterns can create a contrast that allows for users to discern between areas that might otherwise blend together. Use images to further display the information you want to convey. For more information, You can check out https://www.smashingmagazine.com/2017/nailing-accessibility-design. Four foundations of web accessibility. Perceivable. You should be able to experience what you are supposed to interact with. Operable. You should be able to use the website as intended. Understandable. You shouldn't have to figure out what the web designer intended. Robust. It should be reliable and repeatable without error. The true enemy of accessibility, the budget. WCAG Web Content Accessibility Guide 2.0 lists a lot of options that may not be financially feasible for most smaller institutions to implement. We will briefly cover these in the next few slides. Dollars and cents. What costs you? Captions, if automatically generated, often contain a great many errors. Human-generated captions, even at discounted rates, may be cost-prohibitive if you have a lot of auditory content. ASL translators are uncommon at the scale needed and thus command a higher price than captions. Text can only be resized up to 200% without specialized software. Dollars and cents, Part 2. The human cost. Other accessibility options, magnifiers, hyperlinking to definitions, bypassing one set of data in favor of another, requires human labor in the form of a programmer or more costly web development tools that automate these processes. Analysis. What have I done wrong? Look back through the slides. You should see multiple errors that I have made in this presentation regarding accessible design. Example 1. There are areas where the text in an image is bound to the image. There is no caption. There is nothing explaining what is in that slide. There's no alternative text. What else do you see? What don't you see? What's missing? A lot of times it is harder for us to perceive something that isn't present than something that is present. So we have to adjust our comprehension of a specific item so that we can see what needs to be done. For example, the addressing dyslexia slide does not have the titles of the site written above the logos. It relies on the logos to convey that information. There are other things like this throughout. For the most part, they have been intentional to bring attention to these kinds of flaws.